think, not as much as we would if he was full go. There's no doubt. But I think, like I said, I'm huge on walkthroughs, on practice, things like that, because until you get on the grass and actually do it and feel the timing, feel the depths of routes and things of that nature, I don't know exactly how much you can get out of that. So I think we're kind of at that point to where we need to start getting those guys when they're available out there and gelling and seeing what we are as an offense.
Shout out to Juan Gotti Talking Sports. You know what it is.
Shout out Juan Gotti Talking Sports.
The way that we live is not for everybody.
Nah, that ain't it, y'all.
How do you think the rest of Jaden Daniels' career is going to go? If we're, 6, 7 games into Jaden Daniels' career and he's already milking injuries? Like,
niggas stop saying my name, you dick riding bastard.
I love the way she move it, shake it on me. When she cry for him, and shawty is the winner. You can tell that shawty love again now. She's confident.
Working on your birthday, huh, Gotti? I see you, shawty. So I wanted to come on here to recap yet another beautiful day at training camp in Ashburn, and it just so happens that today is my special day, right? I turned 22, and a very good practice, I may say, because it was full pads, and I'm a big fan of full pads. As I've been on record plenty times that I feel like training camp is too lackadaisical nowadays, right? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not expecting you out here to be banging against each other, in the words of Javon Kinlaw, pause that, of course, all summer long, but like, you need to amp it up somewhat, you feel me? And today is what we did. We went full pads, and from what we got note wise from the beat reporters, Ja'Cory Brooks and Jaden Daniels' connection today was chef's kiss, and I love to hear it. As you guys know, I've been clamoring for Ja'Cory Brooks to make this roster, as I feel like outside of Terry, Debo, Noah Brown, he's the only guy that has true legitimate upside in terms of the young fellas. Now, again, I can't judge Jalen Lane, and I'm not giving up on Luke McCaffrey, but if you had to ask me in terms of my excitement level of out of all these young fellas, who am I most excited to see? It would be the undrafted free agent Ja'Cory Brooks. Now, I will say I'm still a Michael Gallup believer. I'm still a Michael Gallup fan, and I'm hoping that he makes this roster. But if Ja'Cory Brooks continues to make plays like this and continue to having days like this and it translate into the game, it's going to be hard for them to deny him. And truth be told, he had about 49 receiving yards last game in the preseason, so he was like the only one that truly showed up. So I hope that him performing in the game against the Patriots last Friday, it nets him an opportunity to play with the starters, or at least play with Mariota if Mariota plays, right? Because I feel like, again, this is no shot to Sam Hartman, but I think a lot of these guys that we assume to be some reserve players, like a Ja'Cory Brooks, like a Ben Sinnott specifically, I think they suffer from having Sam Hartman as their quarterback, as he's not pinpoint accurate, he's not, truly consistent, right? And again, it's no shot at Sam Hartman, but I feel like it would be different if they had a savvy veteran, a guy that's been there, done that, like a Mariota did. So I'm hoping that Ja'Cory Brooks, from the day that he had in the last week's game, allows him to get more opportunities with the first or even second team. But getting into today's practice, let's start with the press conference. And you actually heard from Kliff Kingsbury today, and Kliff Kingsbury had something to say about the Terry McLaurin situation that's going on. And pretty much he was straightforward. You know how Kliff is. Kliff ain't going to beat around the bush. Kliff ain't going to tell you what you want to hear. You know what I'm saying? He going to tell you what you need to hear. And pretty much that's what he said. He said, per Mike Garafolo, it say, offensive coordinator Kliff Kingsbury asked about wide receiver Terry McLaurin a few times. He says on-field work needs to happen soon. Quote, I think we're kind of at that point to where we need to start getting those guys in where they're available out there and gelling to see where this offense truly is. And Kliff, I'm with you, right? I've been at that point. I didn't want this to bleed into training camp. And it's funny how Kliff has kind of been, the more quiet one, but maybe this is a shot, not shot, but like little like sign sent to AP because you know they got that kind of relationship. Like that's why Josh Carlin Jr. is a commander because Kliff went on his desk and said, "Put that note down." He probably like AP. We need him. We need him. And you know what's funny? Just a quick little like off topic but on topic little thing. I just downloaded Madden 26 and I just got on it for the first time, having the full game. I played the trial, but I looked at our receiver roster. Bro, go check the depth chart out. I mean, we already know who it is, but I'm saying, like, looking at that on the game, it gives me a whole new profound of desperation to get Terry McLaurin a contract because it is truly, and I mean truly, nasty work. And I think Kliff is to that point as well. He's like, bro, these dudes ain't it. I need 1-7 out there. I need my offense to be running how I know it can be running with 17 out there. You know what I mean? And again, this is no shot to all the other receivers out there, but you ain't Terry. You know what I'm saying? And we need him. And that's why at this point, bro, like, just give him 30, please. Like, I know we want 28, 20. Give him 30, man. Like, I don't get, like, the hold up. Again, because we don't know what exactly is the hold up because we're not in these meetings. But it's like, bro, it is August 15th. It ain't June. It ain't July. Bro, we got a game in 3 weeks. We got a game this Monday that I'll be at, by the way. Come check me out. Come talk to me. Come cool with me. Come get in the video. I'll be there this Monday where the starters are playing. Who's supposed to be out there? 17. And I know yesterday we found out that JD5 and Terry, they be throwing in the bubble and all that. I got excited about that because I felt like, you know what I'm saying, it would speed up the process of getting back acclimated. But truth be told, ain't nothing like them in-game reps, man. Ain't nothing like actually in training camp competing, going full speed, right? I don't know what they're doing inside the bubble. I don't know if it's just routes on air. I don't know if they're actually doing full-blown stuff. But I can almost assure you that it ain't what they doing out there in training camp. And no, not that I think it'll have an impact on the season long term, but I am a little nervous that this holdout can bleed into the regular season in terms of production, right? And I feel like that's the last thing Terry McLaurin needs, man, because you know there's a section of the fan base that's calling him a diva, saying let him trade him, blah blah blah. And if he gets off to a slow start after getting a new contract, you're not gonna hear that end of it. So I'm really just hoping, like Kliff Kingsbury, we get it done at some point because it is bled too far along, man, because it's time to go, bro. But getting on to the on-field portion, kicking it off with Lionel Willingham. He says, strong words of encouragement from Ryan Kerrigan to Javon Kinlaw. He says this: I know you're going to be violent. If you get your technique down, you'll be a Pro Bowler. And that's coming from RK himself, the sack specialist, one of the greatest pass rushers in Washington Commanders, Redskins football team history. And it goes to show, right? These guys are far from perfect. I know they're making millions of dollars and they're at a level that most athletes won't reach, but they're always working. They're always needing to get better. They're always perfecting their craft. They're always critiqued by better. We're back. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Juan Gotti Command Extra post-game show is back for yet another season. Following each and every Washington Commanders game, call into the number 240-804-7327 to have your voice heard on the show. Win, lose, or draw, happy, upset, or mad, make sure you call into that number because I want to hear from you after every single game. And truth be told, if there's one guy that I would want to take some courage from and some words from, it'll be a Ryan Kerrigan, especially with a Javon Kinlaw-esque player build. Ryan Kerrigan was never like the fastest, most athletic guy, but he was more so technically sound. That's why he was so good. He was big, he was strong, he was in shape, he was really using his technique, right? He's part of that 2011 draft class, right? Like, this dude was amazing. And if he can get Javon Kinlaw to a Pro Bowler, I think that really is going to make a lot of people look at AP in a positive light, even more than they already do. Because I know a lot of people were wondering, why did we signed Javon Kinlaw. He has no production, truthfully, to be compared to that contract that he just got. And I've been saying all offseason long that, yeah, he doesn't have the stats per se, but it is, in fact, true that that New York Jets season he had last year is the best year he's had all career long. And if the trajectory is faced in this right direction, I think that means only positive things for Javon Kinlaw. And clearly, Ryan Kerrigan sees that as well, too. As he said, hey, you get your technique down, you're going to be a Pro Bowler. Oh, man. Javon Kinlaw, the Pro Bowler? Man, Northeast on? Oh, okay. But continuing on, though. JD5 to Ja'Cory Brooks on a deep crosser for a big gain. And we already opened up the video with talking about how that connection is brewing, man. And I haven't felt this confident in a receiver, undrafted free agent than Mitchell Tinsley. I'm not gonna lie to you. Mitchell Tinsley is a guy that I thought was gonna make this roster. I even thought Robert Davis was gonna make this roster. I even thought Martavis Bryant was gonna make this roster. So I guess I am a guy that just falls for the banana in the tailpipe a lot of times. But it's something different about this guy, bro. He was at Alabama, right? Then he went to Louisville. Don't forget, he was at Alabama, and I believe he was catching passes from Bryce Young. Don't forget, right? Continuing on, though, it says a good ability by Jalen Lane to get separation on Ben Nickel for a completion on a cross route. And this is a guy that I need to see more. And it's not him. It's nothing wrong with him, but he was one of the big key guys that I wanted to see in the Week 1 preseason game versus the Patriots. Now, it doesn't help that your defense couldn't get stopped, so you didn't really get opportunities to get punt returns. And offensively, again, I feel like the whole offense was handicapped due to the quarterback play. Please let Mariota play, or give him some opportunities with Jaden Daniels on the 1 or 2 jobs that they may get. Please, because I need to see something from him that boosts my confidence that I already have in him. I already have high hopes for him, at least as a kick returner. But if he can go out there and make one big play, I think that's going to put all critics to bed and all worries to bed. And not that I'm not worried about him. I just want to see my young fellas play. You know what I'm saying? That's what the preseason's for. So hopefully he gets more opportunities this week. This one is per JP Finley, and he was pretty much talking about the Kliff Kingsbury thing, and he was like, not surprised Clint Kingsbury gave more direct answer about the Terry thing. Kliff is a direct dude. DQ jobs require diplomacy. Kliff doesn't. Kliff's job is to run the offense. The offense needs Terry McLaurin. So yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. JP also follows up with some good news. So Bill actually is going to play. And he says this. He says, interesting thing to watch Monday night. Bill Merritt as kick returner. Like Austin Eckler says, running backs got to make yourself sticky to a roster. That means special teams. So Bill is actually going to get some opportunities at kick return. This is why y'all need to tap into the Burgundy Breakdown, our group Commanders channel, Reedy Z, me, John, Ball and Birdie podcast. We all came together as one. And my man Reedy said they need to put Bill back there. What we waiting for? You know what I'm saying? And Lord and behold, he's gonna be back there on Monday. And I didn't know if he had any prior kick return experience. I'm pretty sure he does, but that wasn't what jumped off at the tape is me. But this is gonna be interesting to say the least, because you know, I'm a big Luke McCaffrey fan, and I like the potential that he has, but I'm also more of a big fan of him in terms of the kick return game. If Bill go out there and he has a decent return a couple times, Luke McCaffrey, it could be looking scary for him. And I know a lot of people don't want to talk about him being cut, because again, I don't believe in that, because I think he's in his second year, so I don't necessarily subscribe to him being released or anything like that, or being on a practice squad. But his only big safe spot for me is kick return. And if Bill Merritt go out there and have a nice showing back there, because you think about it, right? I genuinely think Michael Gallup does not have to do much to make this roster. I think the seniority and the connection that he has with Dan Quinn gives him an edge up on the rest of the people that's fighting for that 6th spot. But I'm more so talking about Ja'Cory Brooks as well. Like, at this point, if Bill goes out there and does what he do, I would probably be more interested to go in the season with Terry, Debo, Noah Brown, Jalen Lane, Ja'Cory Brooks, and Michael Gallup. And yes, that leaves out Luke McCaffrey. And I know a lot of people, I can see right now in the comments, Juan, what are you doing? He's a second-year receiver. Why are you giving up on him? I'm not giving up on him. I just think some other guys are better and would be much more fit. Think about it, right? We only have, 3 legitimate veteran receivers. I think we need to even out the playing field, right? So that way you have Terry vet, Debo vet, Noah Brown vet. And then you're gonna have your guy, my guy, Michael Gallup. That's 4. Right, and then you're going to have 2 youngins, and Jalen Lane and Ja'Cory Brooks. That's fine. Opposed to having 3 youngins and 3 vets. Nah, we ain't doing it like that. You know what I mean? So, we'll see. You know what I'm saying? But I love to hear that Merritt is going to play because he's dealing with the shoulder sprain anyway. Continuing on, this is now from Zach Selby. He says, good execution by the Commanders, starting offense on a screen return to Debo, working against the second team defense. Of course, we know Commanders offense is going to dominate second team defense, so there ain't much here to talk about there. Another one. In the words of DJ Khaled, Zach Selby says another deep completion to Ja'Cory Brooks, working against Ben Nichols. So Ben Nichols been getting killed today, huh? First it was Jalen Lane. Now it's Ja'Cory Brooks. And then here he goes again. It says really nice catch from Ja'Cory Brooks. So he's killing it today. JP Finley gives us an update on the kicking situation, and that's why I love to hear, because you guys know I'm a big fan of competition for kickers. And I hate that we don't bring in competition for kickers. They already have a lousy training camp. So bring competition. And that's how I feel. Even going back to Dustin Hopkins days, he got too comfortable. Remember, Dustin Hopkins was good, but he got too comfortable. You're not Tressway, right? So you cannot be comfortable as a kicker in this league. And if I was a coach, even if I had no intentions on signing this guy or releasing this guy, I'm going to bring in competition to make my guy work for it and stay sharp. Even if it's just shining his tools and sharpening his iron or sharpening his tools, however that saying is, that's all it needs to be for. And JP says, good kicking session from Matt Gay, went 5 for 5. Last one looked like from 50 plus. So he did miss one on Friday, and hopefully he's able to bounce back, of course, right? But I think we need to bring in competition, not to take his job, but to just keep him sharp and keep him working for and keeping him hungry and keeping him pushing forward. Don't let him get comfortable. Not until you become one of those guys. You feel me? But that is all the notes that I have for today. Well, last one here, Zach Selby says a lot of work from Debo Samuel today, getting a lot of looks in different spots on the field and coming up with some impressive plays. So again, that's Debo though. We already knew what Debo was, so not really too geeked about that, because that's what he do. Debo is one of them guys. But that being said, man, as always, being boy Juan Gotti. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. On the road to 11,000 subscribers, so please help me get there as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Have a blessed one. Stay safe. Easy out there. Peace.
Ballin' like I'm Deshaun, throw the bomb, G. That's IG, my jersey never seen a line.